Hello, it's Phillip Taylor from Richmond Green Chambers speaking. I'm talking about this interesting book on professional liability, as it's now called. It's known as Jackson and Powell on professional liability. It's published by Sweet Maxwell, and it's an important area of law for many people within our profession and elsewhere. There is in fact a dedicated set of chambers that look at this particular area of law, and the leading set are at 4 New Square, Lincoln's Inn. I've given this title an approach called "The Slim Volume Acquires Middle-Age Spread" in the various internet reviews and the reviews in the Barrister and various other journals. I went to the launch of this and another book, which I found extremely helpful because the new 6th edition of Jackson and Powell follows very much upon the 2002 5th edition with its old and rather loved title of Professional Negligence, which is what we actually knew the book to be initially, but times have moved on. And as they say in the justification for it in their preface, it's all too anachronistic and constricting just to call it professional negligence. So it's actually now been given the title professional liability. So what's happened is the 4 New Square team have actually effected their great escape from the straitjacket of overall negligence and adopted this more fitting title. And as the general editors say, the new edition is not a function of mission creep, but recognises the long-established reality in relation to the claims linked with professional negligence, which has led them to expand the volume much more, hence the comment about middle-age spread, because it's much bigger than the original version. Obviously, 2 new chapters have been added on professional indemnity insurance, which is very welcome, and actuaries. The change of title, though, is one that probably many people have to get used to. The rewritten chapter 1 explains it all. It says that when it comes to the change from the slim volume to a much larger volume, obviously the bit of middle-age spread comes in, because the Barrister's not a journal to worry too much about that sort of thing, I may hasten to add, but it's inevitable that the limiting term professional negligence needs to be expanded to include elements of a contract which provide the framework for resolving claims against professionals. And you get that link, of course, between tort and contract, which is always something that is quite important to have to explain to clients. So what we've got here is a defining issue of the wider realm of causes of action, which have been described as of a more heinous nature for the more excitable reader. Well, I thought that was quite an interesting approach. The editors actually, of course, are absolutely right to make these changes, and the new edition is contemporary to the point that obviously anything can be, and it's a much needed fundamental guide to current professional liability. The contents obviously have been built up as the editions have gone, but Jackson and Powell, as it will remain known, contains a detailed explanation of the general principles of professional liability, including liability and contributory negligence as well. Obviously they discuss the litigation process, they look at defences, and they look at remedies. So it's a really great work for the practitioner. I felt that the range of the work covered was masterly, with its in-depth coverage of the legal, financial, technological, medical and construction professions, and new chapters which I indicated earlier on actuaries, and of course insurance. So what we've got here is Jackson and Powell clarifying the duties and obligations that apply in different situations, and the work actually explains the issues surrounding damages for each profession, from the specialist endeavours which the great team of guys at 4 New Square have produced. So they've been congratulated, in my view, on such a splendid product, and obviously the clear hard work that's gone into it. It's a great collaboration without any doubt, and although one is wary of the what I describe the camel approach when writing, obviously you've got to link in to a number of very specific authors with expertise in their own field. Sweet and Maxwell, I think, are very good at doing this, and obviously what they've done, this team of writers and the people who know what they're talking about, they've carried their mission out brilliantly with an analysis of the law and its application, which in my view can't be bettered. But there again, that is what the remit is really of Sweet and Maxwell. I mention obviously a few names, Jackson and Powell, but there are a large number of people who are involved in the production of this work, so they all deserve some credit. Probably one of the greatest attributes of Jackson and Powell is the detailed statement on specific professions, which is very much the line that quite a few different publishing houses are now going down as we get more complex types of situation being created. And I noted that there have been a number of substantial changes which are welcome as our United Kingdom professions change to meet the new demands of the European Union. And as I said before, there are other books that look at tax treatment of professions and so on, and I think that's all very much to the good as far as everybody is concerned. There obviously are substantial areas which you can look at which are covered by the work, and as I say, there's this new chapter 8 on professional indemnity insurance which is well worth reading. Yes, it's a heavy work which has grown with the years, and obviously it's got a bit of middle-aged spread like many of us do as we get older, but it must be the envy of all professionals because it's so beautifully constructed and explained. So thank you both very much indeed, and your colleagues, for producing this work. Bye bye.